Welcome to Youthology Radio here on AUK Radio between 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. every 2 weeks. This show is brought to you by Attentive Social Enterprise. We are your hosts, Manvir
and Ruth,
and our lovely guest, Daniel Eyle. I pronounced that correctly, right?
You did. Daniel Eyle, love that.
Yeah. So Daniel, would you like to please introduce yourself to the listeners?
So I'm Daniel Eyle. I am one of the founders and directors of the Orange Picture Club, which is a nice little community cinema here in Luton Town.
Well, that's lovely to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us about your hobbies and interests and what you enjoy doing in your free time?
Well, since I was a kid, I've always been into other people's stories. I've always been a bit more of an observer, I'd say. So that's how I kind of got into film, literature, music, video games, whatever people had where they could tell their own stories, their own personal experiences through a medium. And I've always been glued to that since I was a wee little lad.
Oh.
So that's always been my passion in life, listening to others, I guess.
Oh, that's nice. So I'm assuming you kind of said what the Orange Picture Club was, but what was your experience like being the founding partner or the founding director?
Yeah, it was an interesting one because one of our other directors, Mac, he a few years ago did a mystery cinema thing. So he'd do a film, wouldn't tell anyone what the film was, but they would show up and then he would show whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it only lasted a few showings or whatever, but it was always on his mind, that he wanted to do some kind of cinema experience. And that's when me, Jasper and Jaspal, the other directors, got involved. And it just kind of grew into this idea of we've got the time now, we've got the network, and we've got the little bit of experience, so let's go for it, let's do it.
It's interesting what it takes to set up, because it takes obviously from the outside, all you can see is that you've established a company, you've made your name and everything else, but not that part where you're trying to network with people, you're trying to show them your work, trying to get together with like-minded people who you can work with.
Yeah.
I think that part doesn't get mentioned as much when you're trying to create something as extraordinary as this.
Yeah, I guess from the outside it's just a cinema, it's just a community cinema, but you don't realise the effort you have to go into in order to build that and to keep it going.
Yeah.
It does take quite a bit of work, and the Luton Library Theatre, where we do our screenings, they've been really good to us. We've got a really good relationship with them, which is why we chose them to host our screenings and our project.
Do you still do mystery films?
Not yet.
Oh,
no, we want to kind of establish a bit more of a audience, I guess.
Yeah.
Because once you get an audience who kind of know you and know the kind of films you're going to play, then you can say, hey, we're going to do a mystery cinema now. So then it's okay, these guys, they actually know their stuff. They play some good films. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Sorry.
That's all right, go for it.
Do you think that mystery films, because it sounds like a very fascinating idea, do you think that whilst you're building that audience, that mystery film idea is going to go through a little bit of a reinvention, or are you going to keep its authenticity?
I think that would probably be Max, I should say. Max, that's his ballpark, that's his baby, because that was his original idea for this how this whole thing started. Yeah. So I think that kind of idea, if we were to take it on and progress it further, I think that would be him who pushes it forward and deals with that.
Yeah, I really like the fact, because I like to call myself a creative as well, because I do poetry, that when you talk about project, you're treating it like it's a baby.
Yeah.
It feels like something you're
it's so personal.
Develop, and it's something such a personal thing.
Yeah.
And it just sounds very beautiful to me.
It is.
That's really interesting. A bit of a tangent here, but do you also teach people how to make films, or do you just... No.
It's not so much we do workshops and stuff before before certain films, but it's not so much like a filmmaking course. It could be, we did one last week. It was a film called Loving Vincent, about Vincent van Gogh. And beforehand, we did a little art workshop. So we had a presentation about Vincent van Gogh's life and his style of painting. And then we had a big canvas where people could come up and add to it. So we could kind of do all kinds of different workshops. But, we could do a filmmaking one in the future. Yeah. We're always trying to push for different workshops and stuff, but it comes with a budget, and it's a budget that we don't quite have right now. Yeah. But it would be nice. It would be nice to have a professional come in and like teach kids and stuff like how to make a little film like on your phone or something.
Yeah,
you know?
that's really nice. But I think you guys are professionals, so.
Yeah, well, we all went to college, so we do kind of know our stuff. But I've been out the game for a long time.
Really?
Jasper and Jaspal, they're pretty good with
They
filmmaking.
are really good.
The
Yeah.
films are very good.
Yeah,
Very,
they're
very
getting there, man. Their documentaries are doing really well.
They're amazing.
And they're just getting better and better.
Yeah.
I've been following those guys for a long time.
Oh wow.
'Cause obviously, we go back to college, even school. Me and Jasper went to the same school.
Oh.
Went to the same middle school. And they were the year below me, and I always remembered them because they were the twins. They were always together.
Yeah. Oh, that's
But yeah,
nice.
it's cute.
That's really nice.
Twins always get the key 9 out there. I mean, in terms of having that support, like with other filmmakers, does that kind of make you reignite that passion of not doing filmmaking in a while?
To an extent, yes and no. I think I've always been more akin to writing, I think, than filmmaking. When I was doing the course, I always enjoyed like script writing a lot more than the actual filmmaking process. And editing as well, I quite enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I do think it's definitely reignited that burning passion in me.
Oh, that's really nice. And can you tell us about a recent project that really highlights the values or impact of the club?
So one of our volunteers, Faraz, his name is, and he's been helping us out quite a lot the past few months. But he recently, he's like 24 years old, he likes films here and there, but since he started volunteering for us, he's been like more into watching these kind of out there films. And he even mentioned to us that in his spare time, he watched The Good, the Bad and the Ugly for the first time. You see an old 60s Western film, Clint Eastwood, Sergio Leone. And it's kind of cool that like by coming to us and seeing our films and seeing what we do, it's kind of ignited that passion in him to go out and watch films that he wouldn't have watched before. And that's kind of what we wanted for other people who come to our cinema, who haven't really had that experience, you know, little kids or teenagers, just get that passion back and watching stuff that isn't just whatever's on streaming, whatever's Marvel are playing, you know, like branch out a little bit more.
I do resonate with the fact that with art in general, it has to be something that ignites something in people rather than it just being a source of entertainment.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a big purpose of why we have art, including cinema. Because there are certain films, and I think you both agree with me on this, which is kind of like you watch it and it ignites something within you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're probably looking to either replicate the same impact or try and push for something further, right?
Well, I mean, that's the power of films. They have the power to tell stories from times that have gone, disappeared, you know. People who are now passed away, but their story remains. People from all across the world, countries that we might never go to, might never visit. We've got films from like Russian directors during the USSR, and that's a time and a place that's gone. That era of time is gone, but those films will live on, and you can see those stories now. You can see what those people are experiencing, not just back then, but even stuff that's going on now in the world. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of filmmakers in the Middle East and stuff that are making really interesting films.
Definitely.
Because you know they have a story to tell, and why not? And we don't hear that really. All you hear is what's on the news. So filmmaking allows people to really reach out there and tell their story from their side, their perspective.
I definitely agree with that. And it's just that obviously now we're in the day and age, do you feel like because we've got such easy access to technology that we are taking something like this for granted?
It's kind of a double-edged sword because you're making films more accessible.
Yes.
Which is great, you know, which is good. But then you're missing the aspect of that community, which is what we're trying to push forward with the whole Orange Picture Club. We're trying to push for that community, those people to come together in one space where they can interact, where they can intermingle, and it can be like a regular thing for them. Once a month, come by and they'll get to know people. They'll get to see films they've not seen before. It's something you can't get at home. As accessible and as easy as it is to sit there on your couch and watch whatever's there, it's a different thing to actually go somewhere and meet other people and see a film on a big screen. You know, I think it's such a different experience that it's worth pushing for, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, fun fact. To tell you the fun fact of now, your brain can hold around 2.5 petabytes of info. So it's like 3 million hours of TV worth. And you'd be watching it for around 300 years, 24/7, before you run out of space in your brain.
So we got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
plenty of
Plenty of films
space.
to watch.
We've definitely got 300 years.
It's more than enough. Okay. And what kinds of stories or projects are you most passionate about helping others to tell through the Orange Picture Club?
Kind of going back to what I was saying before about those kind of marginalised stories, people telling their stories from countries and places that they've come from. Those stories, working class people, marginalised people, people who don't often you hear their perspective. Those kind of films are what really gets me going more than anything else, I would say.
I definitely agree with you because there are a lot of things in this world. And it's only after we've seen those films we realise and we build a connection to it.
Yeah, even like films that will deal with what people, like ordinary people were going through during the war and stuff, like World War II and stuff.
Yeah.
Like really interesting, but really harrowing, but they have that kind of human spirit that always lingers. And it's like sometimes it's really nice to see, even though it's a horrible subject, you see people kind of pull through regardless of what's going on in the outer world, so to speak.
Goes through time actually, because you've got Shakespeare plays, a musical that I've been rediscovering, Les Miserables.
Oh, Les Miserables.
Yeah.
Have you seen the film?
I've seen the film.
Do you know who's in that film?
You've got Hugh Jackman, you've got...
There's another guy in it who's sitting right next to you.
Oh.
I appear for 1 second. In the very first, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
have to put out
the
the clip
beginning,
from
the
that.
opening scene where they're pulling the ropes,
Oh,
that was
like-
filmed in Portsmouth, and I was studying in
my
Portsmouth.
Really?
So I managed to somehow get my way onto
Please
it,
insert
playing a
clip.
That is
convict.
so coincidental. No, Chris, last
What year was this?
This would have been
2012.
2012, yeah.
So you haven't known this.
I know I literally, I don't watch many movies at all, but I really connect with the fact that if there is something that gives you that emotional connection,
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
watch it 5-6 times.
I love
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Because with Les Miserables, you said Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
Les
Whatever. Les Mis.
Everyone says Les Mis, but I feel like that's butchering anyway.
Yeah, it is.
That's fine.
Oh wow.
It's a play that is it's so timeless. Even
What is it about?
It's about the French Revolution.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite dark, quite harrowing. A lot of peasants uprising.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I mean, there's some songs you could resonate with every time. What was one song? I'm trying to think now. A lot of songs have connections. It's all of the songs. I'll listen to The Stars, which is sung by Javert.
Yeah.
The one where it talks about Jean Valjean basically repenting his sins and everything else, and those things, they're very beautifully done. And I saw the BBC version which didn't have the music, but it's that thing with I would say having that thing about bringing people together.
Yeah.
That's what I think has been missing last couple of years. Would you say the way COVID-19 has panned out and how people are kind of gone a little bit more astray into their devices has messed up that routine of coming together and watching things?
It's definitely a difficult one. The COVID-19 did ruin a lot.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of places are suffering, not just cinema, but everywhere.
Theatre as well.
Yeah, it's tough, and I think it's going to take a lot of time for us to actually recuperate from that. But we're trying. That's kind of what Orange Picture Club's all about as well. Trying to get people back together, regardless of what's going on, what has been. But yeah, it's going to take time to get past that, because I think people are still suffering from the effects of what happened during those years,
Oh, that's nice.
unfortunately.
And what's your favourite film?
That's such a hard question.
I know, that's why I asked it.
I don't really have a favourite film, but the last film that I watched that I thought this is really good. This is really, really good. It's a film called The Human Condition. It's a Japanese film by Kobayashi, I think his name is, and it's a long film. It's about 9 hours long.
Oh,
But it's split up into three. It's split up into three, so you can watch it at your own pace.
I was going to say those 300 years that we talked about. You're getting close to it.
Yeah. But
wow.
it's so good. It's such a goddamn beautiful film. It's amazing. It's a long one, but the way the film works is you can watch it in like parts, which I highly recommend because it's a beautiful film about
Human condition. Okay.
the human condition. It's about a guy who's basically, he lives in Japan during World War II and very imperialistic, materialistic time, not materialistic, military,
Militaristic.
militaristic. And basically he's got a very high sense of morale, and he doesn't want to jeopardize his own morals and his own codes because he's a pacifist, right? He believes in not what the Japanese are doing, basically. But throughout the film, he's having to constantly compromise himself just in order to survive, to get by and to get through. And as the film goes on, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And it's the last scene of the film just will stay with me forever. I've only seen it once, but like it's made its way into my
Was it like
top.
really bad? Like the end
It's
of this?
it's just haunting. It's haunting what this guy has to go through for his own code, just to try and retain some sense of self in a time that's mad hard for him and everyone else.
Oh, wow.
It's a beautiful film. Really, really beautiful film. Great performance. Highly recommend it if you can get your hands on it. Beautiful.
Maybe.
I'll definitely put it on my watch list. Obviously, with the way my attention span's going.
Honestly.
I've got the Blu-ray and it's done really well because it's split up into 3 parts, and those 3 parts are split up into 2 parts.
Oh.
So you can kind of watch it like a mini series, right?
Oh.
So each part's like an hour 20, and you can. That's how I watched it the first time.
Yeah.
But I would find myself like, I'm going to watch the next one. I'm going to watch the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So if you look at it that way, it's just a long mini series basically.
Oh.
I don't think you'd look back.
I mean, back to talk about the Orange Picture Club, because I think that was a very enjoyable discussion about talking about our favourite films and movies.
Yes.
Obviously, we want to talk about the organisation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of like an advice of who would you like for someone to get involved, let me rephrase that question actually. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to use their creative skills to make a real difference in their community, but does not know where to start?
Yeah, that's another interesting one. This is something I've learnt from the twins, Jasper and Jaspal, because the past few years they've been very good at networking, basically. And they said to me, the golden key is networking. You have an idea, you have a thought. Like, there are groups out there are people out there, individuals, communities. Like, just send a message, an email, get in touch with someone. Maybe look at any local events that are going on in your area. Turn up if it's a public event. Get to know people. And I think that's all it's about. It's about branching out and sending out those little feelers, Because that's all it takes. All it takes is that one email to the right person who's like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
This guy's got something.
Yeah.
And then, you might meet someone who's like, okay, I know someone who might help you. If it's a bit of advice, if it's someone who wants to collaborate. So yeah, I would say just send message, get out there.
Network. Yep.
Networking.
Always, always, always.
I think with networking, it's something you'd probably be a little bit scared to do at first, because we do a lot of networking at Attentive.
Yeah.
But then the more you do it, you realise the importance of it. It's not just the fact that, you're sharing something, like you're sharing a message for the sake of sharing a message.
Yeah.
There is an intention of bringing people together with that message.
Yeah.
And that's why that's what's helped me network better, because beforehand I've always felt like, do I have to talk to this person, this and that? A little bit of apprehensivity around it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That was beautiful.
And sometimes it's a bit of give and take as well,
Yeah.
Like if someone helps you, then maybe in the future you help them, and you can use each other's skills to do other things and whatnot.
But I feel like as long as you've got like that person there, or that contact that that person is for XYZ,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
know you
100%.
for what you know best. And then I feel like that's just
because we've got a guy who like does really good prints. So if we've got any leaflets or posters, like this is the guy we want to go to. But obviously not everyone has that. Those links. But it's just making them, isn't it? Like branching out and getting there.
Yeah.
I myself, I'm kind of a baby to the whole networking thing. Those guys, like the twins, that's their ballpark.
No, I
I'm kind of new to this whole whole showbiz thing.
That's how they reached out to us, because we had one of our events which was around celebrating gluten, which has actually been a year now.
I think so.
Yeah, it has been a year since it happened, and they actually showcased their film in the competition about Luton.
Oh,
and that won first prize.
Yes, I remember
it
that
was
one,
such an amazing film.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I first got to network with them in the Step Forward Luton event in sixth form college. And I remember one of them came up to me and I was like, oh yeah, I remember your speech, it was so good. I was like, do I know you? I felt so bad. And I was like, yeah. But they have been everywhere, man. And
they're getting about. They are getting about. But no, it's nice. They seem to know everyone, and
yeah, that's really nice. And
they
what's
are
next?
getting better.
What's next for the Orange Picture Club? Are there any upcoming projects that you're working on, or any partnerships that you're excited about?
So yeah, coming up we have Kubrick Day, July 26th.
What is that?
So Stanley Kubrick was a director he loved England, Britain. He would always film his films in Britain, but he's probably one of the best directors, I would say, like top. But we're showing Dr. Strangelove by Kubrick, which is a very relevant film to what's going on now. I think it's all about these world leaders who are kind of debating whether or not to drop a nuclear bomb.
Ooh,
but it's a black comedy. It's satirical. You got Peter Sellers, who plays like 5 different characters.
I love multi-character.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and he's so good in it. So we got that coming up July 26th. July 4th, a bit sooner than that, we've got 12 Angry Men, which is another classic.
I've kind of heard of, when I was doing psychology, we kind of talked about that.
I'm guessing that would be brought up in psychology films. It's one of those ones. So yeah, July the 4th, we've got that. July 28th, we've got The Incredibles for the little ones, little kids.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe I'll turn up to that.
Yeah.
Jokes.
We've got a little workshop as well where we're going to make I think we're working with, don't quote me on this, but I think we're working with Spider-Man, Luton Spider-Man. You see that guy?
Oh.
Is it Luton's Deadpool, or they also have a Spider-Man?
They have a Spider-Man.
There's a Spider-Man as well.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man is new. You see the game.
So we got him coming in, hopefully, and he'll be teaching kids how to like do costumes and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Hopefully. So don't quote me on that, but I'm hoping we can get that sorted. Aside from that, we want to do more workshops. So that comes into, we want to get a bit of more budget going. So it'd be nice if we could get that sponsorship, maybe get some money coming in, and then we could put it towards doing better workshops. And so that's kind of our future plans. And also we got a website in the making as well. So that's kind of cool.
That's nice. Yeah. So everything is very exciting, very upcoming.
Hopefully. We've got dates up until the end of the year, but in terms of what films we're going to play, we're kind of keeping it hush-hush for now. But we'll still be about, don't you worry, till the end of 2025.
Yeah, keep it mysterious.
Would you say, with your organisation, rather than doing everything at once, it's about gradual progression? Doing less is more?
I mean, I think we did try and push. We've only been going since March, so we're quite young.
Oh, so you're quite new.
But I think the first month or so, we were doing like double bills. So we were showing 2 films each screening, and that was too much because it weren't making the money, and we were paying out for all these different licenses. So now we've kind of realised, okay, let's strip it back a bit. We'll show 1, 2, 3 films a month, but just on their own or with a workshop. So we are kind of in that learning process of, like you said, less is more. 1 or 2 screenings a month, maybe 3 at a push. But then having those workshops to go alongside them, just kind of beef them up a little bit and to make it more of a community-driven thing,
overall, it's just been absolutely lovely because I love the discussions. What would you say, Ruth?
Yeah, I love films. I'm a film junkie, I would say. I love sitting down and watching a good film.
Yes.
So it's really great. And I think because I've been kind of interested in it lately as well. So when I watch it, I kind of like see what they're doing as I go along. So then that's my excuse to binge watch films.
Of course,
But
of course.
And yeah, for me, look, I'm not too much of a film person myself, but if I pick something up and I like it, I'm obsessed with it. Just like I've been a little bit obsessed with this conversation because I've always loved the fact that with films, it's not about, oh, I've just watched a film. It's about how do you feel watching it?
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
If it's just like a film, oh, they've done this, they've done that, they've tried to put the story other ways.
There are certain films where it's very easy to just switch your brain off.
Yeah.
And and that's nothing wrong with those kind of films, but sometimes it's nice to have be engaged.
Apparently the film's qualities are going down as we go because of the new generation, Gen Z.
Yeah, we are struggling to get the Gen Zers in. We'll get the kids with their papas and their mamas, but in terms of Gen Z teenagers, it's so hard.
Yeah.
So hard to get them off the seats. Come on, guys.
Too
Get off your
laid
goddamn
back. Too jokey, guys. Come on now.
I like
I don't know, maybe if we show the minions.
Literally making fun of ourselves.
Well, we're not teenagers, but we are a part.
We are Gen Z.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine, don't worry.
It's like these are the people I'm talking about right here. It's okay. We'll get there as a generation.
I mean, it's been a very fantastic conversation.
Yep.
I love it.
Close this segment off, a brilliant segment, talking about filmmaking, talking about your organisation, and talking a bit about our favourite films. If people wish to contact you and your organisation, what are your details?
So you can contact us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, if you can just Google us. You can Google the Orange Picture Club, and it's on like the top results. You'll find our Facebook, our Instagram, probably the Luton Library website as well. So yeah, and you can just send us a message, drop us an email, whatever you like. Just come to the theatre. We'll be there. So yeah, and yeah.
So it's been a very good first half of the show. And for the listeners out there, definitely check out Orange Picture Club on their socials and their website. We'll end this segment for now. Thank you very much, Daniel Miles, for being our
Thank you very much.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
And we will end this segment of the show. We will be back.
Okay. Thank you.
So welcome back to Youthology Radio here on AUK Radio. Well, we are your hosts, Manveer
and Ruth.
We are joined by our lovely guests, Sarah and Rejoice, who will be talking from online. So just to start things off, could the guests please introduce themselves? Could we get an introduction from Sarah first?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm an A-level student right now, and I'm also Youth Ambassador Attentive. I have been since July of last year, so it's nearing a full year. It's great to be here. I'm usually a host, so it's nice kind of event.
It's good to take the back seat.
Yeah.
And congratulations on your new year. Hopefully when we get to that year, we can also congratulate you on your first year at Attentive.
Thank you.
And would the lovely Rejoice please introduce herself as well?
Hello, my name is Rejoice. I'm a student at Luton Sixth Form College, and I'm currently studying Health and Social Care.
That's lovely to hear. So
so both of you guys are part of Attentive, and how's your roles been in Attentive so far? Sarah?
So far it's been really great. I've done a lot of stuff. The most notable has been being Deputy Project Lead on Expressions, which was a project which aimed to raise awareness about violence against women and girls. It was fun. It was great seeing how it brought the community together, and it was also a really meaningful project because it's a very sensitive topic which people don't really like to talk about. So that was most notably my favourite thing about being Attentive so far. But I also do little stuff but I do stuff like radio hosting, which is really fun. I also do photography, which is great because I didn't know I liked it, and now I do. So I've learned a lot of stuff. I've done a lot of stuff, which has been great.
Yeah, there's a variety of things you can do with Attentive, and then when you realise you've done a lot of stuff, you don't even realise it as well sometimes. And that's a very unique thing about being a part of Attentive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rejoice?
And Rejoice, could you tell us about your role and how you found Attentive so far?
I'm a youth ambassador at Attentive, and I've been enjoying Attentive so far because it's helped me develop skills, like improve my communication skills. Yeah.
Could you talk about how Attentive has helped you with improving communication skills?
Sorry?
Could you talk to me about how Attentive has helped you improve your communication skills?
It has helped me improve my communication skills, like, like, let me just say, through poetry, I was able to join team. I was able to join in the team to read out poems, which helped me because I was able to express feelings.
That's very nice. How did you find that experience of doing poetry for the first time? Because I know it must have been quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I was quite nervous at first, but it was I didn't expect it to turn out really great. Like, it was very nice. At the end, I said, oh, after all, that it was no need for me to be anxious because it was okay. I did my best.
That's lovely to hear. In terms of your hobbies and interests, could you talk to me about your hobbies and interests and what you like to do in your free time?
I enjoy learning new things actually, and get creative. I also like poetry because it helps me express how I feel and helps me connect with people actually.
That's lovely to hear. I mean, poetry is something that is a very creative tool as well, and I'm also a poet. Can you talk to me how poetry has helped you with expressing yourself better, and has that helped you with your confidence in public speaking as well?
I'm sorry, can you just repeat that?
Okay, that's fine. I can repeat that. You talk about poetry as well being one of the things that you really like. Could you talk about has poetry helped you build your public speaking skills as long as enhancing your creativity?
Okay, it's helped me improve because I was like, I won't be like able to. Before I started reading out poems, I won't be able to speak up in like a crowd because I get shy easily actually. But the day at Attentive events, that was my first time reading out poems, and as I said before, I was anxious actually, but it felt really nice to read out poems, like, because it was just, you just have to go with the flow while reading out poems. Just don't think about anything, just go with the flow. It just helped me go with the flow, and I was able to express how I was feeling and what was written in the poem out. It was just really good at it.
That's really nice. Sounds really positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sarah, I'm sorry. Sarah, what have been your hobbies, I don't know, recently? Because the last time we talked, I'm pretty sure we mentioned your hobbies. Did you have anything new?
Yeah, my hobbies and interests, they vary quite a lot. Recently, because it's been sunny outside, I've just been, I don't know, like playing outside.
I love that.
Yeah, me and my brothers, we're quite close. So we go on walks because we have a dog as well. We've got a forest near us. We take a lot of walks in the forests, which is nice because it's shady. It's also very pretty. And we also found a bunch of swings that people built in the forest.
Oh.
So now we've got, a fun place to play. It's a really hobby. I don't know, like discovering swings, I guess. That's a hobby. I also, I guess I'm quite sporty. I've been playing basketball recently since we've got basketball hoop up. Not professionally or anything, just with my brothers. I also like to walk dogs. I've got a dog. I also walk dogs in my neighbourhood.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
I'm hoping it's going to help me in my UCAS application because I'm going to apply to be a vet. So anything to do with animals is just going to be great for me. Also, if you guys know any places that would like to give me work experience, please let me know.
If you've got a dog and you need someone to walk your dog,
Yeah.
you know who to call.
Yeah.
That's really good though. Sounds like you've been getting out there in the open of
When it's sunny, you've
nature.
got to be outside. It's only sunny like 1 or 2 months of the year, like actually enjoyable. So you know.
But it's just really hot.
Yeah, I like walking a lot. I think you take a lot out of your mind with walking. Walking with dogs as well is probably a breath of fresh air. I haven't had a dog before. So, yeah, but it's very interesting. I never knew you wanted to be a vet. That's a very interesting career path. I don't think it's very conventional, but I really like unconventional things because there's more of I don't know, there's more of a spice to it. I don't know.
A bit of an edge to it.
I could go into detail about why I do.
What's your favourite animal?
My favourite animal? Okay, that's a difficult question. If I'm talking about like animals in the wild, I'll have to say either a meerkat or a giraffe. And also, this is a strange thing, but whenever I when I was growing up, my mum would always tell me the same thing, that whatever animal you like the most is the animal that you like resonate with the most. That's why when I was younger, and I would always say, oh, like I like the giraffe the most. My mum's like, okay, you probably think you're really tall. And to be honest, I was like, 5'5" in year 6.
Oh.
I was really tall.
Oh damn.
So I guess I was like, the giraffe in the class, and that's like, that's probably why I like them so much, because you resonate with them. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any like logic. Or
maybe not. Maybe it's just there for the fun of it.
Probably a hint of spirituality to it. So this is going to be a question to everyone. What animal do you connect most to? So starting off with Regis.
Oh, okay.
What animal do you connect most to?
I would say a dog.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, with dogs, they're very like, I guess, energetic as well. And I like the dogs. What about you, Ruth?
Can we come back?
Okay, that's fine. I've got 2 animals in my mind. Either a wolf or a lion.
Oh, okay.
So
why?
With a wolf, I don't know what it is. I just like to be by myself a lot and having that space to myself. And obviously, I had this phase where I was going like, I'm just being myself. I'm doing everything all by myself. I'm not talking to anyone at all. I'm just minding my own business, like lone wolf stuff in it.
Yeah.
It was so cringy. But I've realised that...
Insert picture of a
no, but I've realised that having a hint of individuality is important sometimes.
Yeah.
With the lion, it's part of my identity being a Sikh as well, because we like to... Well, not we like to. We identify like spiritually with animals with a lion, being like lion-hearted, brave, fighting for everyone and everything else. That's why being a lion is a very uniform thing for us, and also because it's beard as well. I think my beard.
Oh yeah, like a mane.
Yeah, for me. Yeah, but yeah, I mean animals. I think it was better to live with. What would you say is better to have animals around you rather than humans sometimes?
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice to know, as humans sitting next to you. And what animal do I resonate with?
Yeah.
I really don't know, but the first thing that came to my mind was a panda.
Okay.
Pandas are very cute.
Yeah.
They are very cute. They're very adorable. They're so mushy. They're just so cute. Insert a picture of a panda.
Anyways, we've talked a lot about like what we've liked and just kind of like what interests we have, and talk about what animal we connect to as well. In terms of attentive, what has been your favourite memory so far?
Okay, my favourite memory, I don't know, there's quite a few. I really like the first time I was on the radio. I rewatched that podcast not long ago. That was really fun. I never done anything like that before. And it's great. It was all in video, so I can rewatch it whenever I want. I don't know which. I've got a lot. I also really liked the Expressions event because I felt so important that day.
I love
around
that.
with the clipboard.
Yeah. Right? You know,
There's a picture of me just holding it with a massive smile.
boss, and you're like, yep, you're not doing this. It is really stressful, but it's really rewarding. At the end of that, you go home, you tell your family, like, I did that.
Yeah, I made sure my whole family was there. It was stressing me out because they were a little bit late, but then they came, and I was so happy because then even Montel went, and then he told them how amazing I am, which made me feel even more important.
That's so nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Anyways, looking ahead for both of you, Rejoice and Sarah, what do you hope to achieve both personally through your work with Attentive, and what kind of impact would you like to make overall?
Taking pictures is very nice, and
it's a very important skill as well. It's a very important skill as well, because if you can take pictures, you can do a lot of things like in terms of posting content on YouTube, and if you want to create a video or a montage, there's a very important skill, and there's that element of like curiosity of wanting to do that. So that's very nice.
Yeah.
It's a very important skill.
Sarah,
Yes.
looking ahead, what do you hope to achieve both personally and through your work with Attentive, and what kind of impact would you like to make?
Okay, so personally, I want to be better at talking and networking. I still feel like I get really shy around new people. So I want to be able to build a conversation better. I think that'll be really important once I meet more professional people, especially as I get older. So I think that'll be a great like skill to improve on. And then how do I want to impact other people? I want to do more workshops. When we were doing Power Youth Action, I did quite a few workshops, and it was really fulfilling. It was really fun, and it also felt like, I was like helping my community. And I want to do more stuff like that. And the people who I did workshops with, they were really great. And, you know, I feel like all people, if you really like give them a chance to talk, you know, have a conversation with them, they're all like that. So I feel like any workshop in the future, if I just, you know, try making it like a fun environment, the other people will reciprocate. And I think it'll just be, you know, a fun way to help my community.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I mean, in terms of that speaking and networking part, obviously me and you, we've done a lot of that.
Yeah.
Would you agree that the nerves don't change?
Yeah, I don't think the nerves change. Like, you still get nervous. Like, oh, damn, I have to talk to that person. But you get to the person because you tell yourself, okay, just get there. And then you get in front of the person, like, oh, I actually have to talk to you now. And then you just kind of have to follow through with it, I guess.
I mean, the thing is, the nerves don't change. But I guess because you're more immune to doing things, you kind of have in the back of your, I've already done this before.
Yeah, so I can
you're
do
more
it again.
confident. Obviously, you always have to be better planned.
Yeah.
Because I remember my experience where aspects where I haven't been better planned and I've been a little bit behind. But the nerves, I like to think nerves are like, it gets you excited, gets you pumped up and ready. I like to see the good part in things, and that's where nerves come in. Obviously, the more you do things, it's not like you're not as nervous anymore. But sometimes they're there, and it's just about embracing.
It's just human nature.
Yeah.
Because your brain just wants to keep you safe in your comfort zone. And you have to tell your brain, no, you have to get out of here. Anyways, that was a meme. Insert the meme if you can find it. Don't insert that meme, actually. Never mind. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Speaking of networking, I feel like I've done it so many times now that when I speak to someone, I feel like I have to keep the conversation going. And my aim is to make that person a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And the other day I was doing this and my mum was kind of like listening to our conversation. And then apparently I overshared. So that was just really sad. Because I finished because I didn't know the girl, but she seemed so friendly. And then I went to see my mum and she was like, oh, you don't know that girl. Why are you telling her XYZ? I'm not going to say what I said because apparently that was oversharing. So
I mean, I feel like when you get to the hang of public speaking, you just naturally overshare because you're so excited.
Yeah, like I was just excited. I was like, that's a new friend. I was just trying to make a new friend, man. But
In terms of reflecting on your journey so far, but up until this point, how do you think Attentive has changed you and developed you? So I'll start off with Rejoice.
Being part of Attentive has changed me because it's really helped me improve my communication skills, and I'm much better at understanding people, like, and responding and giving a response out what they need. Like, I'm much better at understanding people and giving out response, and it's helped me with poetry and. Yeah, it's open. Yeah, poetry.
So it seems like that you've come a long way in terms of communication. That is something that has helped you
I'm not really good at communication, actually. So I'll just say Attentive has really helped me improve communication skills.
Yeah. It's a work in progress. Everything in life is a work in progress.
Yeah, because I mean, with most skills, they're not going to be perfect. Like, even for us, in terms of like communication, it's about the next day. I like to say that you will master a skill, but you will always be getting better at it, no matter what point of journey you are at.
Yeah. Wise words. Wise words. Very wise.
Yeah. Because that's a part of the experience of learning new things. But there you've definitely have come a long way in terms of communication, because we're talking like in terms of communication. When we talk communication, a lot of people attribute that with just speaking, and it's not just about speaking. We know, being on the radio, all four of us, we know with speaking it's about listening as well, responding, and that's like 60% of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of yourself, Sarah, reflecting on your journey so far, how has being part of Attentive changed you?
I feel like it shaped me into a more, understanding person, I guess. Because before Attentive, I didn't really speak to some certain people, some people that we did workshops with, they didn't always have, let's say, the best behavior, and I didn't used to associate myself with them because I thought, oh my gosh, they're just causing trouble and stuff. But then when I go into the workshop, I noticed there's a different side to them, because I actually spoke to some of them, and I was thinking, well, maybe if I wasn't so closed off to them when I was younger, I could have learnt this kind of stuff earlier, that everyone has their own story and that I should listen more. Yeah, and that was also a big thing about Power Youth Action. They were just, raising awareness about that kind of stuff, and I think it was great.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like that. It's kind of like giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty.
I know you've all been a part of the Power Youth Action project. I've only been a part of one show, and this will be a question for all of you, because this is something I've always been thinking about as well, reflecting on my journey. How important is it for young people to be able to have public speaking skills and obviously be able to communicate their opinion?
I think it's really important, because if you don't have the public speaking skills, then you don't have the ability to market yourself. So when you're going into job opportunities and going in for your interview, if you can't market yourself and speak effectively, then chances are you're not going to get the job. And I think especially if someone who doesn't have those skills, they're probably from an privileged environment. So, and even though they might have the best grades ever, if they can't communicate properly, if they don't have the ability to market themselves, they're just not going to get the job. And I think it would be it's just an example. There's a lot of different ways it's important, but I think it's a good example. I think.
So a question for both of you, Rejoice and Sarah. What words of encouragement or advice would you like to share with someone who may be thinking of joining our team?
I think that if you want to learn anything, new skills, if you want to learn fun things like photography or article writing, Attentive is a great way to voice your opinions, to learn new skills, make friends, and do stuff that other people your age won't do.
Yeah.
I know so many people who are actually learning to do radio in sixth form, but they're not Attentive, so they're not actually on the radio. They just learn about it in school. So Attentive gives you a lot of opportunities to do stuff that other people just won't do. So, if you want to be different, come.
Different in a good way, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Anyways, Rejoice, my question to you is, what words of advice or encouragement would you like to share with someone who may be thinking of joining our team?
My advice to someone who would like to join the Attentive team is that they should not be afraid to try new things. And as exploring Attentive, as Attentive are different, they have different workshops, lessons and skills that will help you develop your skills. So Attentive is a very great place to grow and achieve things you would like to.
Thank you very much, Rejoice. And on that note, we will be wrapping up the show. If you would like to learn more about Attentive, you can visit us on our social media tags on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok. We actually have a TikTok page, and also our website. It's been a very good show, and I'm really happy to see how far both of you have come. Obviously, with Rejoice, we worked together on poetry, and it was really nice to see you perform that for the first time, because having such an experience for the first time is very extraordinary. And with yourself, Sarah, radio hosting as well. I did say one day that I'll be the guest for one of the shows, and I was. And I'm really proud to see how far both of you have come. What would you say, Ruth?
Yeah, exactly the same. Like you guys have kind of like, you came in, we kind of saw you go through your journeys and grow, and now you're like amazing butterflies. You went from went from little caterpillars, are they caterpillars?
Yeah,
Caterpillars to butterflies.
Caterpillars to butterflies. So it was really great to see you guys grow, and like also how me and Manve and many other colleagues have played a small part into your journey. It's like, wow, we kind of did that. Yeah.
Hopefully. I don't want to take
Don't
big
quit me.
ownership of your growth because that's something personal to both of you as well. But yeah, in terms of that, we will end on that note. Thank you very much to our listeners. This has been Youthology Radio on AUK Radio between 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on every 2 Wednesdays, brought to you by Attentive Social Enterprise. See you later.
Bye.